Gigi Hadid may be one of the world's most successful models, but even she's not immune to body criticism in the industry. She recently opened up about being body shamed in the modeling industry. What is up, you guys? It's Sussan Mourad back here with Clevver News, and take a look at fashion magazines, designer catwalks and fashion week, and you'll have a hard time not seeing Gigi Hadid all over the place. She is absolutely dominating the fashion industry, one catwalk and pose at a time. She is such a natural, and it seems like Gigi was born to model and has been slaying the industry effortlessly for as long as we can all remember. But even Gigi has faced criticism when it came to her body during the early days of her career. She recently opened up to ID magazine about how modeling wasn't always an easy journey for her, especially in the beginning. Gigi talked about the first designer to cast her in a runway show in Paris and how big of a deal this was for her at the time, even though we all know that Gigi is walking in almost every major show these days. She said, quote, "Jean-Paul Gaultier was the first designer that let me walk on a runway in Paris. It was in his last ready-to-wear show. At the time, I was still starting out in my career. I was coming out of high school, I still had my volleyball body." And while at the time she loved and embraced her body, the modeling industry wasn't as welcoming. This was back in 2015 when the modeling world was starting to embrace the new wave of body positivity and inclusivity. Obviously, there is still a long way to go on that front, but even Gigi struggled with getting jobs because of body criticism just a few years back. She said, quote, "It was a body that I loved. I knew how hard I worked to have those muscles, to be curved in those places. I kind of miss it now. At the time, people were hard on me and tried to say that I didn't have a runway body." Can you seriously believe this? I know I couldn't when I first heard it. Get the comments and the conversation going right here in the comments below, because I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. And don't worry, you guys, we're also going to talk about Gigi's life outside of modeling too, and her hopes of starting a family. But as Gigi's modeling career picked up, there were still some bumps along the way. Gigi explained that while more designers began casting her in their shows, they did upsetting little things like putting her in clothes that covered up her body. She said, quote, "So for Jean-Paul to have me at his last ready-to-wear show in 2015, not only to have me, but also to put me in an outfit that didn't cover a lot, like there were still stylists or designers at the time who were putting me in their shows, but putting me something that really covered my body. And so for him to make me feel like he wanted me to shine in that way, it really meant a lot to me as a young model." Gigi also added that she knows that Jean-Paul has done that for a lot of other models too. It was a really meaningful full circle moment for Gigi when she walked in Jean-Paul's final runway show just last month. Gigi said, quote, "I was so honored to be asked to walk in it, because he didn't just work with people who he'd worked with for his whole career, but he also street cast so much of his last couture show. And I think that says so much about who he is as a designer and as a person. He cares so much about the person that's wearing the look and bringing out something in them." But Gigi also talked about her life outside of modeling and revealed that she plans to keep things simple and low-key in her future. She said, quote, "I think that as I get older, well, one day I'll start a family, and I don't know if I will always be modeling. I love the creative side of fashion. It's so fulfilling. The people I work with make me so happy. I'm so lucky to be around them. But who knows? Maybe I'll take up full-time cooking." I mean, I know that I would totally watch a Gigi Hadid cooking show. Food Network, did you hear that? Someone should be taking notes. And as much as Gigi loves modeling and fashion and New York City, she also revealed that she prefers to be away from it as much as possible. She talked about how she has a farm that she lives on outside of the city. Gigi said, quote, "I think that the weird and wonderfulness of it comes from also being in isolation. A lot of the time I'll have friends and family at the farm, but there are a lot of days where I'm there just by myself, and I sit in my little cottage in silence and just doing these little things for myself." All in all, it sounds like Gigi is just trying to live her best life like all of us, and she's found a balance between her work and downtime. And we're just so happy that Gigi didn't let the haters and the negativity stop her from pursuing her dream. I mean, can you imagine a world without Gigi Hadid gracing catwalks and fashion shows and magazines? I can't believe it. And Gigi's fans agree. They are taking to Twitter to share their love for Gigi and shade whoever criticized her body. One person wrote, "Whoever was involved with telling Gigi Hadid she didn't have a runway body needs a serious reality check. She's always been gorgeous and has always been built gorgeous. End of discussion." Another said, quote, "Body shaming in general needs to stop. Love yourself and support those around you. Plain and simple." And another wrote, "If y'all thought that Gigi freaking Hadid, who is literally perfect, didn't have the body for modeling, then I don't know who does. Thank God we've come a long way since then, but we've still got a long way to go apparently. Yes, say it louder for the people in the back. But right now, you guys, it's your turn to share your thoughts. Can you believe that Gigi was body shamed when she started modeling? I don't. And do you appreciate when stars like Gigi open up about their struggles and insecurities? Let me know everything in the comment section below. And while we're talking about Gigi, click right over here to get all the scoop on her getting back together with Zayn Malik. As always, be sure to hit that subscribe button right over there to keep coming back for plenty more news, and also hit the bell for all our updates. I'm Sussan Mourad. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you later.